Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to be looking at my ideal lifestyle and really just showing you guys that you don't have to be a millionaire to kind of live like one. But let's get into it straight away. Before we do, make sure you are subscribed with those notifications turned on. Leave any questions down below. Smash the like button. Let's get into it right now. All right, so first things first, guys. Thank you ever so much for all the new subscribers. Loving having you here. Loving having you here. I'm going to be doing some content today, just looking at how much it costs to live like a really nice lifestyle, the lifestyle that maybe you've always dreamed of. And what I want you to do is work it out, because there's three reasons for doing this video. Okay, now let me share my screen and I'm going to explain to you why. So my good friend Brad Riley, here he is over here. Go sub to his channel and stuff. He originally joined my mastermind way back in, I think, November or October, November time, so a long time ago. Since, he's done incredible things, and he did a video, Living Like a Millionaire is Cheaper Than You Think. And that kind of sparked me to think about what it would cost for me to live my ideal lifestyle. And I broke it down to two areas, one being the short term, and I class the short term as really like a year, 2 years, and then the long term, just 5 years or so. Anything other than that, I really can't comprehend where I'm going to be in over 5 years' time. I can't even comprehend where I'm going to be in 2 months' time. So how the hell am I going to do 5 years? Now, the other thing is, if you've read this book, okay, so it's Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game. It is a bit of a read. It's a bit long. You might have to take breaks. But in here, again, he kind of preaches the same thing of actually work out how much it's going to cost you to live the, life, how much it's going to cost for you to be financially free. And it's a really good... basically something it's really good to do. So that's one of the reasons. Go check out Brad's video, because his is really cool. It's very similar to mine, in fact, in terms of our goals, which is why we get along. But let's show you kind of what we're looking at today. So basically, I'm breaking this down into. I should really make this a little bit bigger, shouldn't I? How do I make this bigger? Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this, and I'm down here in the corner. Yep. So how much cool stuff costs? Now, when I went to Australia a couple of weeks ago, one of the big things that struck me was the quality of living is a lot nicer out there. Nice weather, nice property, all that sort of stuff, and it's cheaper to actually rent places for the quality that you get. And I got back to my house here, and it's kind of cold. I get a big draft coming through. It's not in the nicest of areas. And I thought, you know what, I need to make a change. I'm going to find out, and I'm going to start looking for new places to live. I'm going to start looking for new kind of cars and the things I've always wanted. How much is it actually going to cost me? What do I need to do to get to the point where I can afford it? So I started doing it, and I realized actually I'm a lot closer than I think. The only issue is what I do is that my income can go very, very high, or it could go quite low. My income could be cut in half within a month, because as you guys know, a lot of the income I get at the moment is from my personal brand, which if I stop uploading videos, or if my YouTube account gets shut down for any reason, then that will just disappear. So that's one big concern. But I do have other streams of income which are unrelated to YouTube. So that's always something that you've got to bear in mind is, as long as you can afford these things, and you're going to be able to afford them for 6 months or a year, then you're good to go. Right, so I broke this down into a few different areas. I tried not to go like super in detail, because of course there's things that you forget, but I've tried to get the biggest ones in here so you can have a little look. Now the first thing I want to look at is a house, okay? Now I own a house, and I own that, it's up in Norwich, if you guys know where that is. I've done quite well with that. I did it up myself, and I've made a little bit of money on it. I think eventually this year going to take some equity out of the property and buy another property, and again I will do it up because it's something I enjoy doing. So that's going to kind of go ahead, and I'm not going to live there. It's just going to be an investment property. However, what I'm looking to do is rent a property that's a little bit more local to me. So you might think, well, why are you going to spend this money, £2,900, which is a lot of money, on rent when you could buy a house, when you could buy another place? And the answer is that I wouldn't be able to afford to buy the place that I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, I wouldn't be able to afford to buy it. It's way out of my price range. I would need a very, very large deposit. I'd have to take all the money out of my other property, and I wouldn't maybe, it's just not something that I would like to do. I want to be able to rent where I live, and I want to be able to rent out where I own. So that's the goal, okay? And if you kind of look at Grant Cardone, if you follow any of his videos, then you'd kind of align with that. So let me show you the house that. So I'm actually going to look at this place on Monday. So it is Friday. It's Saturday today. I'm going to go look at this place. Now, this is way bigger than I ever need, but the important thing is you need to, if you are looking to move house, go and look for places, because you need to walk in through the door. You need to see what it's like to live in or like to be in. You know, is it too big? Is it too pokey? What's the area like? Drive around. How the connections? For me, like, I want good connections to London. My girlfriend, she would want good connections to work. So this is like a perfect, ideal location for us. Really luxurious in terms of the high quality finish. It's actually a brand new house, like no one's ever lived in here. So the big things I'm looking at is I want a really kind of high end kitchen, something that's more of a nice environment to be in, rather than just what I have at the moment, which is kind of a galley kitchen. You just kind of go in there, eat your food, and leave. This is where you can kind of like, you can wait in here, you can socialise, you can have some stools here, a bit more of an occasion. Big thing as well is very light, very airy. So you can see back here, kind of the double doors going into the garden, nice sizable garden, and over here you've got a lounge, so kind of like a dining area, which is pretty cool, something I don't have at the moment. Well, this is my dining room, which is my office. Upstairs, again, these like cool radiators, really high, nice finish. This room is a second bedroom, that would be my office, so I would totally transform this into like basically a studio. Nice bathrooms, really high finish throughout, and stuff like that. I'll show you the actual the plan itself. So you can see here, garage, which will come in handy in a second, living room, reception room, kitchen. This is basically my ideal house. There is 4 bedrooms. I have absolutely zero need for 4 bedrooms. It's literally be me and my girlfriend, and then an office space, which would be this one here, and then basically 2 extra rooms. So the point is, I'm going to go and look at it and decide, hey, is this maybe too much space for me at the moment? Do I need to kind of rein it back a bit? And if so, then yeah, I'll go look at other properties in the same area, if it's a good area, that are a little bit smaller, but have these same key features. So this kind of open plan, kind of living, reception room, kind of kitchen area, nice light and airy, nice master bedroom, a room that I can either turn into an office space or an office space itself, and a garage, okay? The garage is super important. In a few minutes, I'll show you why. So that's something I'll be looking at. If it's going to be the one I go for, I don't know. Is it expensive? For me, yes. I don't want to spend that much money on it. However, for 6 months, I might try it, and if I like it, sweet. If not, then go back and live somewhere else. Like, that's cool. I can always go back and live in the house that I own as a fallback. Go back to that £2,900 a month. Again, a little bit worrying spending that much money, but you've got to add it up. Just do it, add it up, because if you don't know what something costs, then you're never going to be able to really work towards it. The next thing is a car. So I've put 2 cars down here. Now, the first one is I'm looking at the moment, Audi R8s. Now, again, this seems crazy, whereas a year ago I was just like struggling to rub 2 pennies together. But I've been looking at cars. I have a friend that sells very high-end cars, so he's been helping me just understand what the best ones to go for. So I think we're getting down to the point of looking at a V10 manual. If it was a V8, it would be the automatic, but apparently the V10 manuals, first of all, they sell a lot better, and they're just a better car, a driver's car. So this is just an example, maybe not this color, not this finish, but this is a sort of thing that I'd be looking at. Really nice, like supercar. Again, I don't need it at all. I really don't. I hardly even drive, but if I live in somewhere that's not, within walking distance to a town, I'd like a car. I have a car already. It's a Volkswagen Polo. It's a tiny little car. It's just to get from A to B. But something like this would make me feel proud. I'd drive a lot more, and it'd be cool for you guys. It would be cool for the personal brand. It would just make me happy. Basically, it would make me very happy. So I'm gonna be looking at those colors. Then black is good, white is good. I'm not so sure about this sort of color. I'm not so sure about things like silver. Gray is okay. The big thing is I want a carbon fin, carbon interior. And that's pretty much it. Nice wheels, nice condition. Don't really worry about the mileage. But that is going to be about £1,100 a month for a car that's about £50,000. So that one is, how much is that? Yes, £55,000. So it'll be around that sort of level, and that would be with a 10% deposit, so £5,000 deposit. The next thing is another car. I have a car at the moment which I spend about £200 a month on. That's all in, that's kind of everything. And I was thinking, if you know from a previous video I did, I think it was last year now, I was looking to get a Range Rover Sport. I reckon that would cost about £700. Not immediately, but I think I'd like one. Or something similar to that, that'd be quite nice. Or more of an exec car, more of a car that you can actually have more than 2 people in. Insurance for both of those will be about $250. For the R8, it will be about £100 to £115 a month. So that's just basically because I'm old. So I'm 27. I've got more than 5 years, no claims, all that sort of stuff. Fuel, I reckon, I don't even drive much. £200, it could be £400. I really don't. I haven't got a clue. I hardly even fill up this car at the moment because we do such a little amount of miles because I live basically in the town. So £200, that could be more. I really have no idea. Bills, just general bills for the house, about £350. So that's gas, electric, internet, all that sort of stuff. So £350, I think that's reasonable. That's more than I spend at the moment. Entertainment, so that's just kind of going out. I don't really go out a huge amount when I'm at home, but £500 I think is a good reasonable amount, especially if have a lot more people coming over. You might want to go out more because it's more of like a family environment home. Holidays, I put about £1,000 a month. I've just come back from Australia. Granted, it cost me a bit more than £1,000, but I'm looking to go on another holiday in April when my girlfriend has some time off, and then in July I'd like to go a couple of places. So holidays about £1,000 a month. Some months won't go anywhere. For example, March, I'm not planning to go anywhere whatsoever. But in April, might go somewhere, it might cost £2,000. So it'll all even out to be kind of about £1,000 a month. That's something I want to do a lot more of this year. I want to be able to live in an environment that I'm kind of happy to live in, somewhere I'm proud to live in. I want to be able to have a sick car because, why the hell not? I'd rather have it when I'm this age rather than in 20 years' time. So I think, do it. And if all else fails, if it's on a hire purchase agreement and I can't afford to pay it in 6 months' time, then I can just sell the car and get my money back. As long as I buy the right car at the right price, then there should be no problem with that. Food, around £400. I spend very, very little on food. Fortunately, my girlfriend is very, very good at shopping. She can always make food go along. I don't know how she does it. When I go shopping, I'll spend £20 on one bag of food, and she'll go shopping and spend £20 on 4 bags. I don't know how she does it. She does. But we normally have food delivery every 2 weeks, and it costs about £80. So yeah, it's just us two. We don't need much. I just put other £500 just for general, I don't know, expenses. It could be more than that. We could put that to £1,000. Who knows? It's just other things that I've maybe forgotten. I probably should add in here technology. I like buying technology, but any technology I buy from now on will be run through the business. So it's not something I really have to. I don't have to take the money into my personal bank account, which means taxes paid and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so the total is about £8,000 per month total, which that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money, granted. It's quite scary. So that basically means that you need to kind of make around. Is that wrong? I think that's wrong. Is that wrong? That's probably wrong. What have I done here? Times 1.5. No, let's just times it by 1.7. Okay, so it's not. Let's go by 1.8. Just so there we go. Let's do it at that. Just to account for tax and things like that. Now, of course, people's tax brackets are different. Up to, I think, £11,000 is 0% tax rate. From up to there to 42 or 44, 43,000, it's about 20%, and then 40% from that to something else. But of course, when you have a company, you can do loads of things like direct to loan repayments. You can do dividends, which you get £5,000 of dividends allowance a year. I can also set up my girlfriend as a director of the company, and I can pay her dividends. I can pay her dividend allowance. So there's loads of different things you can do to make your money go further when you have a limited company. So basically, let's just work it out that roughly I have to earn into the company account. I have to earn £14,220 to be able to pay for, can comfortably pay all the taxes paid at the end of the year for my £7,900 or £8,000 a month place. So you can do that. That's well easy to do. You can probably scale up to that within a year. I say that's easy. I know that's crazy to sound for you guys to hear that, but it is possible. I've been able to do that and more within the space of 1 year. So this is the long-term goal. Okay, this is the long-term goal. And by the way, guys, I am going to go ahead and do this. Okay, so I'm not comfortable with spending that much money at the moment. I'm really not. The main things for me is house and car. Okay, the second car is not important to me right now, which will bring the insurance down. The bills and stuff like that. The entertainment, again, I could spend that much. Holiday, I could spend that much. The food and other, again, that's around. But the main thing is, if I get rid of that, get rid of a few of these little costs, and it's something that I might be able to afford. The big thing for me is the house is kind of priority for me. I will be looking at cheaper houses, but I'm just going to be starting looking at the moment. So that's to give you an idea of where I'm at. Longer term, £7,000 a month on a property, and that will get you something that's really, really ridiculous. Now we're looking at maybe something that's a bit more central to either London or to where I'll be looking in a minute this week, or that could be a couple of properties. Who knows what it could be, but upping that I think will make a big difference. Cars, I have the sight set maybe within a few years, hopefully within a few years. I would really like to get a Lamborghini. And it's gonna cost me, depending on how much I pay off on an Audi R8 and how long I have it for, I'd reckon it'd be between £3,000 and £4,000 a month to have that. The insurance on like a Lamborghini Gallardo is about £250 a month for me. So I've also upped the second car budget to £2,000 for like a really high exec or like a really, really nice. Like, I don't know. Right? I don't know. Like I just stick some numbers in there. We'll see what happens. Okay, insurance about £500 a month. Fuel about 400, bills about 800. So basically, I'm just upping everything. Entertainment 2,000, holidays 4,000. So go on some maybe more luxurious holidays, a bit longer to destinations which cost a lot more money. Food £700. So again, I can't imagine that changing much from 400, but hey, we'll give it a go. And then other, again, just double it, £1,000 just on other random stuff. So the total for that is £22,000, 22,400. So you'd need to make again, that's wrong. I don't know why I'm timesing it by 1.8, but I'm having a bit of a brain melt. But that's £40,000 a year. So again, that's way out of my budget by a long way. But I can see that happening within one or 2 years, as long as I don't stay complacent, as long as I don't kind of just take my foot off the gas. Then this is something that's possible. And looking at these numbers, it's just mental, because that is someone's yearly wage. And if you can make it in a month, then that's just incredible. That's just completely life-changing. That's life-changing for a start. Even if it's another £1,000 a month than what you originally earned, that's life-changing. And when I started this journey, I was looking to earn pretty much anything extra a month, and that would be incredible for me. It was like that would be the most enjoyable thing. To earn an extra £500 a month would be absolutely life-changing. And for the majority of people, I believe that is actually the case. As we've gone through the last kind of 12 months, or not even the last 12 months, the last kind of 10 months, I've been able to 10x my income and live a life that I live very, very similar to how I did before, but just the bank balance is kind of starting to rack up. So these sorts of figures now, it's like, okay, well that's achievable. I may not feel comfortable with it, but it's something that I can work towards over the next 6 months, and I can think, okay, how am I going to make sure that I always have £14,000 coming into my company account? How much, or being paid from my company account to me? How can I always make sure that amount is coming in every single month without fail through passive income streams? I don't want to be able to be doing work for it. I want to be passive. How am I going to do that? Work towards it every single day. So if you follow my last couple of videos, you'll know that I'm working on a new income stream as well as building up all of my other ones. So that hopefully will pay for. The idea is my new income stream will completely pay for my cars. Okay, completely, entirety. Okay, so both cars, all the insurance, all the fuel, all the tax, everything. And then all the rest of it, they'll just be part of my normal payments so that I could afford generally. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. And the big thing that I want to get across to you is that you need to work this out for yourself. Even if it's so unachievable right now, just do it. And what Tony Robbins says in here, I'm not going to quote him because I can't remember, but he said, work out what you need to live. What's your bare minimum? How much money do you actually need? So work that out. What is a nice lifestyle to you? So something where you'd be really comfortable living, where you can take that extra one holiday a year, or go out for a meal once a week. What's that look like? And then what does the ideal lifestyle look like? So where you could have a really nice car in the driveway, you can go on holiday every month, or you can travel the world, or or have a nice watch. How much would that lifestyle cost? And then the last one you want to do is your ultimate freedom fund. Okay, so how much for anything you want. So if you wanted private jet, you wanted 4 Lamborghinis, you wanted literally anything you want, just work out how much it would cost and put it in there, because once you start working up that ladder and you get to that first point, you tick it off. Okay, now I'm going on to the next one. you tick that off, you go on to the next one, tick that off. It'll be a lot more achievable than you think. But also, you might get to that point and think, oh, I don't want any of that stuff. I don't need any of it. It doesn't interest me, because you've been working on it for some time. So that's what I did, and this is what mine looks at the moment. Who knows what's going to happen? The main thing that I'm doing right now is that I'm actually actively going and looking at these two things. I'm going to look at houses, I'm going to look at cars. Even if I don't move, even if I don't buy a new car, I want to go look, because that's going to drive me forward, and that's going to give me the the enthusiasm to continue doing it, but also it's going to give me that fire underneath me so that I can create more content on YouTube, so I can release more Amazon products, so I can start up this new income stream, so I can do more affiliate marketing, I can help more people, and that in turn is going to help me get from my short-term per month cool stuff goal to the long-term per month cool stuff goal. So guys, I want you to work yours out, and work it out now, like spend a few minutes doing it, just kind of get like rough estimates of how much things will cost, and work it out. Let me know in the comments what your ideal lifestyle would cost per month. So how much it would cost per month, how much would you have to earn to actually pay that? Now, a good way of thinking about it is it's not quite double, because of the way your tax works, it's not quite double. But say for example you earn 14, then it's going to be around 60% of that, okay? So you'll probably pay around 40% tax. It can be less, it probably will be less with the way that you work out your tax with your limited company and your payments with your limited company, but hey, just do it as a rough estimate and overestimate these things, because you'd rather overestimate them than underestimate them. Let me know in the comments what your ideal lifestyle will cost. Maybe also let me know, like, if you have a particular car that you'd really like, or somewhere you'd like to live, or places you'd like to travel to, just put them down in the comments. It'll be quite nice to hear what you guys think, and I'll do the same as well. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. I love it when you do that. Make sure you are subscribed, so there's notifications turned on for when I go live. I will go live, a couple of times this coming week. And of course, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.